14 Days, a collaborative novel edited by Margaret Atwood and Douglas Preston, published by Harper in February of 2024, with a snippet read by Richard Coombs. Available for checkout right now at the Alice L. Pendleton Library. Call me 1A. I'm the super of a building on Rivington Street, on the Lower East Side of New York City. It's a 6-floor walk-up with the farcical name of the Fernsby Arms, a decaying crap shack tenement that should have been torn down long ago. It's certainly not keeping up with the glorious yuppification of the neighborhood. As far as I know, nobody famous has ever lived here. There have been no serial killers, subversive graffiti artists, notorious drunken poets, radical feminists, or Broadway song pluggers commuting to Tin Pan Alley. There might have been a murder or two, the building looks it, but nothing that made the New York Times. I hardly know the tenants at all. I'm new here, got the job a few weeks ago, around the time the city was shut down by COVID. The apartment came with the job. Its number, 1A, sounded like it was on the first floor, but when I got here, and it was too late to back out, I found it was actually in the basement, and as dark as the broom closet of Hades and a cell phone dead zone to match. The basement in this building is the first floor, the second floor is the real first floor, and so on up to 6. A con. The pay in the Fernsby Arms is rotten, but I was desperate, and it kept me from winding up on the street. My father came here from Romania as a teenager, married, and worked like a dog as the super of a building in Queens. And then I was born. When I was 8, my mom left. I tagged along as Dad fixed leaky faucets, changed light bulbs, and dispensed wisdom. I was pretty adorable as a kid, and he brought me along to increase his tips. I'm still adorable, thank you very much. He was one of those supers people liked to confide in. While he was plunging a shit-blocked toilet or setting out roach motels, the tenants liked to pour out their troubles. He'd sympathize, offering benediction and reassurance. He always had an old Romanian saying to comfort them, or some tidbit of ancient wisdom from the Carpathian Mountains. That, plus his Romanian accent, made him sound wiser than he really was. They loved him. At least some of them did. I loved him too, because none of this was for show. It's how he really was, a warm, wise, loving, faux, stern kind of dad. His one drawback being that he was too old world to realize how much his ass was being mowed every day by life in America. Suffice to say, I did not inherit his kindly, forgiving nature. Dad wanted a different life for me, far away from having to fix other people's shit. He saved like mad so I could go to college. I got a basketball scholarship to SUNY, and planned to be a sportscaster. We argued about that. Dad wanted me to be an engineer ever since I won the first Lego League robotics prize in 5th grade. College didn't work out. I got kicked off the college basketball team when I tested positive for weed, and then I dropped out, leaving my dad $30,000 in debt. It wasn't $30,000 in the beginning. It started out as a small loan to supplement my scholarship, but the VIG grew like a tumor. After leaving school, I moved to Vermont for a bit and lived off a lover's generosity, but a bad thing happened, and I moved back in with my dad, waiting tables at Red Lobster in Queens Place Mall. When Dad started going downhill from Alzheimer's, I covered up for him as best I could in the building, fixing stuff in the mornings before going to work. But eventually, a miserable toad in the building reported us to the landlord, and he was forced to retire. Using my master key, I flushed a bag of my Legos down her toilet as a thank you. I had to move him to a home. We had no money, so the state put him in a memory care center in New Rochelle. Evergreen Manor. What a name, Evergreen. The only thing green about it are the walls. Vomit Pus Asylum Green, you know the color. Come for the lifestyle, stay for a lifetime. The day I moved him in, he threw a plate of fettuccine alfredo at me. Up until the lockdown, I'd been visiting him when I could, which hasn't been much because of my asthma and the ongoing shit-saster known as my life. All these bills started pouring in related to Dad's care and treatment, even though I thought Medicare was supposed to pay. But no, they don't. Just you wait until you're old and sick. You should have seen the 2-inch stack I burned in a wastebasket, setting off the fire alarms. That was in January. The building hired a new super. They didn't want me because I'm a woman, even though I know that building better than anyone. And I was given 30 days to move out. I got fired from Red Lobster because I missed too many days taking care of my dad. The stress of no job and looming homelessness brought on another asthma attack, and they raced me to the ER at Presbyterian and stuck me full of tubes. When I got out of the hospital, all my shit had been taken from the apartment. Everything. Dad's stuff, too. I still had my phone, and there was an offer in my email for the Fernsby job, with an allegedly furnished apartment, so I jumped on it.